And welcome to the Down in Front Podcast video teaser edition. I'm your host, Warren. And how's it going, guys?
Hey.
We are excited. We are back. We're going to be talking to you about one of the newest movies, kind of an action sort of thriller called The Foreigner. Features Jackie Chan and Pierce Brosnan. And we're just going to do a quick around the horn, get some thoughts and some really quick, actually, kind of tidbits until we get into our entire episode of the Down in Front Podcast recorded. So I'm going to toss it over to Brylan. Brylan, how's your boy?
Yeah, one thing I really liked about this movie was that the fight scenes, unlike other Jackie Chan films, weren't overly choreographed, so they definitely grounded them and used their environments really well to add to the toughness of actually having to fight people. And I think it added to the much darker tones they were actually trying to achieve with this film.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably one of the only things that I enjoyed about this movie, but it was still very interesting and very engaging. Some of these fight scenes kind of came out of nowhere, and it did feel a lot real that he was actually getting hurt and beat up a lot of scenes, so I thought that was pretty cool. Blue, what about you?
Yeah, I felt that they really suffered from motivation. Like, it seemed like Jackie Chan just threw a dart at Irish people and then decided to track only one person.
Yeah.
Didn't really second guess it at all. I mean, granted, he turned out to be right in the end, spoiler, but it just made no sense to me.
Yeah, it was kind of strange that he literally saw one person on TV and said, well, he has to be the bad guy, right? Kind of weird, kind of strange, but they kind of went that way, and I'm excited to talk a little bit more about that. But what about you, Abbott?
Yeah, no, I was sort of walking into it expecting like a definite classic Jackie Chan movie, but the vibe was a lot different. But then teaming him up against the IRA, like other movies, he's been kind of against like a faceless terrorist organization or like other people with nefarious motives, but this was a real world like thing that he was like fighting against, and albeit they have their own motivations, he had his motivations. It was the IRA, so Jackie Chan versus the IRA was not something that I thought I would ever see, so that was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is one of the only movies he has a realistic villain, or realistic motive, or whatever you want to kind of call that. It's something that's actually tangible, so did make it a bit grounded, exactly what actually Bradley was talking about. Kyle?
To pair with the kind of the motivation thing is that the ambiguity of characters, though, the whole time for it. I wasn't sure until a good 3/4 movie through who was actually the good guy, who was actually the bad guy, who I should hate, who I shouldn't.
Yeah.
How they're really connected. It just felt like kind of sloppily done together by the point, and it didn't feel like a big twist where I was like, oh, okay, this is who's good, this is who's bad. It was just like, oh, so that's all right. So I was right, but you made me think like I shouldn't. So the ambiguity, like I didn't feel like drawn to any of the characters in a way.
Yeah, it was kind of strange to the fact that it just kind of happened, and we were like, oh, he is a father who wants to go out and kill people, and there's a guy who we think should not want to go and kill people, but he does anyway. Very weird. It was kind of hard just to follow the entire movie itself. So, and Mocha, what about you?
So, regardless of how the execution was of all of it, I did think that it was interesting that they tried to create an antagonist for the film that wasn't exactly just the like laughing maniacally evil villain. He was a bit more nuanced and operated in a much more gray area than I feel like most movies of this genre have. And so I at least appreciate their attempt to give us a little bit of nuance there.
Yeah, I mean, I did enjoy Pierce Brosnan's character and his role entirely. It was to the point where we're not entirely sure, much like Kyle's point, but you felt something for him, especially when we saw like the twist of his wife and kind of going from there. So that kind of sucks like, to be put in that position. So I did like that kind of joining. I was interested in just kind of watching the movie to the end to see what happens there.
Yeah.
So we're pumped. I mean, we're excited to really talk about this movie, really unpack it, and really delve deep. So we are the Down in Front Podcast. This is going to be ending our video teaser. Stay tuned for our entire episode that we're going to be recording. Have everybody here. We're going to talk about what we've been watching, what we've been drinking, and just overall hanging out. So we will see you soon. You're going to get all of our actual information on Twitter, on Facebook, on Patreon. You can see all of our links on the bottom here. So stay tuned for that. We'll say thank you so much. We'll see you soon.
Bye.